We are almost to December as of the making of this video, and that means we're almost to the GTA 6 trailer. Now, Rockstar promised that the first trailer for the new game, which we think is going to be called GTA 6, give your best guess if it's not called that in the comments, will be released early December. Now, we have no idea what exactly that entails. It definitely means we're less than, 2 or 3 weeks away from getting it at the absolute most, and it's pretty exciting times if you're a GTA fan and if you're a gamer. But now, we're going to talk about new features, new details, things coming from Red Dead Redemption 2 that could actually be brought over to Grand Theft Auto 6. Stick around because there's some really cool stuff in here. If any of it ends up being true, it's just going to solidify GTA 6 as the most immersive, real game out there. I mean, it's going to be crazy. Now, with the advancements of Rockstar and what they've got going on, I mean, it's been over a decade since the launch of the last Grand Theft Auto title, and the studio made some incredible technical leaps with Red Dead Redemption 2. So today, we go over all the carryovers, all the improvements, the adjustments, things that, if you like them from Red Dead 2, you may be happy because they could actually end up in GTA 6. Now, a recent thread on the GTA 6 subreddit started making the rounds, and it raised a lot of interesting points. User SadXHour made a comprehensive list of all the features that were introduced or refined in RDR2. And he said those are likely to be brought over into Grand Theft Auto 6. And there's some interesting ones that are worth discussing because they're going to go a long way in making the new game feel like a huge jump from GTA 5. Now, it's easy to forget that GTA 5 launched on the PS3 and the Xbox 360 over a decade ago, and Rockstar has come up with some new details in their world since then. For example, it's likely that GTA 6 will feature the player's inventory and weapons as physical representations on the character, meaning the inventory will probably be a bit more limited than in the past. But that means we'll actually get to carry our stuff with us, although I have mixed feelings on it. I mean, it's kind of a GTA tradition for characters to be able to carry a bunch of guns in their pockets and whip them out at a moment's notice, which is something Red Dead 2 did away with for the sake of immersion. Now in RDR2, you can only carry what could physically be put on your character model, which may have limited player freedom, but it made the game feel more lifelike. So you tell me, do you want GTA 6 to have the weapon wheel and magic? I mean, do you want the bottomless Mary Poppins pockets like past GTA games? Or do you want Rockstar to use the RDR2 inventory system for the sake of immersion? Before we move on, guys, if you get anything from G2A.com, be sure to use code CHAOS for some cash back. The link is at the top of the description. Now, another feature likely to come over to GTA 6 is the Greet Antagonize system from RDR2, but obviously on a much larger degree. RDR2 didn't have nearly as many NPCs wandering around the map as the average GTA game does, so that allowed Rockstar to experiment a little bit with the NPC interactions, and personally, I think it would be pretty cool to see the interaction system expanded upon and applied to the entirety of the GTA 6 map. According to the leaked gameplay footage from last year, that may be what we're getting. The leaked gameplay featured some kind of greet and antagonize system, but it wasn't clear just how much it had been changed from RDR2, so we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to see if we truly will be able to walk around Vice City and interact with every single NPC, which I think we're going to be able to, but at the very least, it's going to be a huge step from the previous GTA games, where your interactions with NPCs were very limited, honestly, to just punching them in the face on the sidewalk or stealing their cars. Now, weapon animations are also likely going to be greatly improved from GTA 5, as RDR2 featured very realistic animations for using and even cleaning weapons. That's another big thing, cleaning weapons. I'd also imagine there's going to be much more accurate footprints left behind characters when walking through things like mud, sand, or some kind of soft terrain. It's also all but confirmed that clothes will get dirty over time. Characters' hair will grow as time progresses in the game. Rockstar is amazing at coming up with little immersive details like that, so I honestly can't wait to see how GTA 6 improves upon what RDR2 already did. Perhaps we'll even be able to lose our hats in certain situations, pick them back up, or lose them if we walk away. It would add just a little bit of personality to the clothing system. I know it's not a big deal, but if that happened, physical items in the game world, you could lose. I already know there'd be a group of people in the new GTA Online who will make it their goal to run around and steal as many people's hats as possible. Now, I'm also hoping the ability to tie up NPCs from RDR2 will make it into GTA 6, which according to the leaked gameplay footage, that's happening. During some of that gameplay, you can see NPCs zip-tied while player carries out a heist, and I'm sure you're also going to be able to pick them up, move them around if you really want to, similar to how it worked in RDR2. It's also believed there will be some kind of weight and muscle gain loss system, but that's crazy if that's going to be cosmetic or actually affects your gameplay. Maybe if your character builds up their muscle mass, they'll be able to pick up NPCs and move them around with ease, whereas a weaker character will be better at sneaking around since they're lighter, but also struggle to physically move or intimidate the NPCs. That would be crazy, right? I mean, it's also believed that GTA 6 will come with the ability to fire warning shots as a way to intimidate NPCs without needing to actually touch them. So that could make up for a smaller, less muscular character, assuming muscle mass actually does affect gameplay. Now, as we've discussed in previous videos, it's also believed that law enforcement will behave differently in GTA 6, almost like a middle ground between RDR2 and GTA 5. Instead of arriving on the scene and immediately shooting to kill, law enforcement will try to arrest you before resorting to lethal force. In addition to that, you won't actually get a wanted level immediately upon committing a crime like other Rockstar games. Instead, you'll seemingly be able to get away from the crimes if nobody sees it happen, or if you successfully manage to intimidate the witnesses before they call the cops. Now, the Reddit thread doesn't mention the leaked reworks to the cops in GTA 6. It's also believed that cops are going to have completely different strategies. Instead of just spawning in near a player, they're going to have to be deployed from the nearest police station. Instead of zooming right at you, they're instead going to try to create a perimeter so you can't escape. It's also possible to be some kind of disguise system in the game like RDR2 had. So if you commit a crime and you are seen, you can buy yourself a little time. Wear a disguise. Keep your identity a secret. I mean, the cops in GTA 6 are going to be a lot harder to deal with than in previous games, but that is going to add to the immersion. So it sounds like a major part of the gameplay loop in GTA 6 will be committing crime. Shocker, right? And keeping off the police's radar. Another shocker. It may not be the traditional GTA way of doing things when it comes to the evolution, but it's good. After a decade of GTA 5 cops, I'm ready for new. Now, speaking of realism, some have suggested that bodies will decompose in GTA 6 instead of simply despawning, but I don't believe that one. There may have been speculation that the body decomposition system from RDR2 would make it over. I just don't think so. For one thing, there would be way more NPCs running around at once in GTA 6 than ever in RDR2, meaning there would be way more dead bodies around the map, and if the bodies stay there and continuously decompose, it's going to start becoming a technical hurdle. But on top of that, RDR2 takes place in the Wild West. GTA 6, modern city. If a dead body was spotted in the middle of a city, obviously the authorities would be called. It wouldn't just be sitting there forever. Maybe if you killed an NPC in a place where nobody finds the body, it would stay. I don't know. I don't know. There will be plenty of in-game excuses for corpses to be removed by law enforcement once another NPC sees it, reports it, smells it, something. I don't know if it's going to be that gritty. But speaking of bodies, the Reddit thread suggests that GTA 6 will feature some kind of looting system where bodies can be looted or physically moved once an NPC is taken out. I think that's likely. If you get rid of somebody, you're probably going to be able to go through their pockets, take whatever they're carrying, and I'm pretty certain you'll be able to move the body somewhere so it can't be spotted right away, especially if you're trying to complete an objective without alerting the authorities. So there you have it. Little immersive details that, if they end up being added to the game, are just going to add to the game. Let me know a couple more that you would like to see in here, even if they're not a big deal. Just little stuff like tipping the hat off and stealing it. I hope you guys have a great day. We're almost there.